Sorry, I was having technical difficulties. All right, I'm gonna clean my lens here. Oop. All right, so that's a little bit better. So I know this is an impromptu live. I didn't post that I was going live or anything like that. So I just figured I would jump on and we're just going to do this because I didn't have a video ready for tonight. So we're going to do a bloom tonight. So hopefully I've got my camera angle set up. Welcome everybody, welcome. So I do have some cotton gloves underneath my regular gloves because my hands are a mess. A mess, I say. All right, so I'm going to get my resin going because I'm doing this live. So I'm using the Craftor epoxy resin, and I'm going to mix up 8 ounces because I'm going to do 4 of these round coasters. And I haven't done a bloom in, oh my gosh, forever. So I figured, why not do that? We haven't done that. I know you won't be able to see the end result tonight, but I can post a picture tomorrow. And I had to move some of my stuff, so now I'm looking for my container with my knife in it. So, once I get this mixed up, so we can get it mixing, I also brought down one of the lanterns that I have been working on. Hey, Mary Beth, welcome. So I'm going to show you that. So I've got 2 more completed, and I've got 1 more. It's assembled, but I've just got to paint it. So let's see. We're going to put 4 ounces and 4 ounces. So yeah, I will show you that in a minute. They are so stinking adorable, especially if you like rustic. So I am trying to figure out how to do one. Hey, Terry, welcome. So that they're still rustic, but yet add some bling to them. So I'm still kind of him and hawing over that in my head. So I want to get this mixed because then we got to let this set for a bit and get up to temperature. But I've still got to wipe out my my mold, so we have plenty of time. And this is the Craftor, which is really, really good, and it heats up fairly quick. So I figured, I don't think I've done a bloom with the Craftor resin yet. So, yeah, we'll see. Hey, EJ. All right, so let me, and I should have put my smaller thingy on. You're shocked you were the first one? Normally you're late. Hey, you're right on time tonight, girl. All right, so we've got that mixing up. So while that's mixing up, and this is the Let's Resin hands-free mixer. So I've got that, but I want to show you what I've been working on. And sorry, I'm in my shorts still. It's been 95 here all day. So this is the lantern, and you can't see, but the light is on. But these are the lanterns that I'm making. So I make them as a pair, and then I have the hook in the back, and it hangs up on the screw on the wall. And I have these beside a painting. So they're really, really cute. You love that? So I'm going to see if they sell. I mean, obviously with with the lanterns, they're going to be expensive because some of the lanterns, the ones I got, I think were 20 bucks, but they have, I mean, they have some that are very expensive. So it's just a matter of, you know, getting some reasonable. But if somebody wanted them without the lanterns and they want to get their own, they, you know, they could do that as well. So I'm just going to clean these out a little bit. I will have to top coat these because these molds are getting old and they do have some imperfections in the top, you know, in the front part, but it's okay. We will make it nice and shiny. So what's everybody been up to today? What is your weather been? We've got one more hot, humid day, and then it's supposed to, the humidity's supposed to go away, so we will see. All right, we got two clean. Too hot at Jersey Shore. Yeah, you must be having the same weather we're having. Oh, my word. I didn't even go in the pool today. I wanted to, but I'm like, oh, I've just got too much to do. So hopefully tomorrow, it's supposed to be sunny until like mid-afternoon, so maybe I'll get a couple hours in tomorrow. We'll see. We've still got all of August, so yeah. All right. You know, normally I would have done this ahead of time, but like I said, this was a extremely last minute live. I was getting ready to post no video tonight, and then I'm like, you know what? No. It's been hot, humid, and storming in Louisiana. Oh, yeah, we're going to get the storms. It's supposed to start tomorrow afternoon. Thursday, more storms, and go into Friday morning, but then it's supposed to be good. So we will see. You know, the newsmen only have to be right once to have a career. Okay, I think we've got these all done. And then I'll flip you guys down once I get ready to start doing it, but I figured we could chit-chat for a little bit in the meantime. All right, I'm going to clean my paddle here. Yeah, my poor dog, she is like, she went to go out this morning. She went out on the porch. She just looked at us and was like, really? I think I'm just going to go in. I'll wait a little while longer. She's like, I don't even want to go potty out here. It's so hot. Poor thing. All right, let me get this wiped. So I'm hoping this bloom works because I have not done a bloom in forever, and I've never done it with the Bond Crafter, so we will see. Have any of you done it with the Bond Crafter, done a bloom with the Bond Crafter resin? Because I'm curious, because it is a thick, definitely a thick resin. All right, I'm just gonna stir this up some more, make sure I get my sides and my edges here. And I think I'm gonna split it in 2 cups and run it through the debubbler because that helps heat it up a little bit. And I want it to heat up fast, but not like to the point where I can't make my blooms because that would just defeat the purpose. All right. So I did manage to get some cleaning done down here, so that's a good thing. And I do have a video started for tomorrow, which is something a little different that I've done some of it on my channel, but not all of it. So I'm putting a little spin on it. And it will be a Christmas in July video tomorrow, guys. So, yeah. All right, let's get this in the debubbler. So then we're not dealing with any bubbles. Okay, so we got that going. So I've still got to pick out some ink colors, guys. Did I miss any comments? No blooms for you? I'm hoping to get a dog once I'm able to move back to my house. Oh, I hope so, Mary Beth. I hope so. So this way here, you will know if it works. All right. Is there a particular color you guys would like to see? I do have a brand new pack of Let's Resin alcohol inks. So we can pick any color. Let me see. I've done purples. How about a cranberry? Fall colors. Maybe like a cranberry and maybe like a yellow. Hello, my one set of blooms were half truffle trees. So let's use the cranberry and let's maybe an apricot. Cranberry and apricot. I've had him since he was born and he makes 12 years in August. Oh, wow. I've got 2 cats. We had 5 at one point. And so I have one from our litters. And then I have one that was my in-law's cat. And when my mother-in-law passed, my father-in-law, you know, obviously took care of the cat. And then when he passed, like 8 months later, none of the family wanted the cat. And I'm like, I said to my husband, I said, well, we can't just leave the cat here. And I'm not bringing her to a shelter. She was 8 years old. So I'm like, all right, I've got the dog. At the time, I had 2 dogs. So I had my pug and my American bully, and I wasn't worried about the pug, but the American bully, you know, she's a little bit bigger. And, so I'm like, well, what are we going to do? And I said, well, we have the gates, like outside on my deck, I have 2 different staircases that go off it. And I took one of the gates, and we put it at the top of our stairs. And when we first got it, we put the cat carrier on the floor. And of course, you know, Sophie had to go be nosy and stick her nose right over there. And Moki was petrified. So she went into the bathroom. I went in and I got her and I brought her upstairs. And so she lives upstairs. So then my other cats, I used to feed them in the bathroom on top of the dryer so that the dog wouldn't eat their food. And she, so yeah, now both my cats live upstairs. So I say they live in the penthouse. Yeah, they're upstairs on the penthouse and the dog lives downstairs. So I'm just getting my bag ready. for my white. I wish they would sell like little mini bags for resin. Wouldn't that be cool? Okay, so I think I've got my 2 inks, got my white, my resin is debubbling. I think we're good. So I do want to do a mix to mold video too coming up, because this is the one that I buy from Powertex, and you can see it says Powertex on it. So this is one that I bought there. So I opened the package and I made myself a mold. And I did have to cut it because, you know, her head was in there so deep. So we're probably in the next day or two, you're going to see a video with some mix to mold stuff. I've only got 1 bucket, so it's not going to be a ton of stuff. So, you know, it will be, we got like 2.5 minutes left. So that way I don't have to keep buying them, because just those heads are $22. And I'm like, if I can make them, I'm better off to make them, and then I can always have a few ahead, because some friends of ours, they left for Japan today. They're going for 3 weeks. And Ty kept saying, you know, what do you want from Japan when we, you know, when we come back? And I'm like, Ty, you don't need to bring me anything, you know, just take lots of pictures. And so finally he wouldn't leave me alone. So I said, well, just get me like a little Buddha, because I like Buddhas. So I said, just get me a little, you know, knick-knack, a little Buddha. Welcome, Just Leet Creations. Welcome. So he said he would bring me back one. His wife's like, he'll probably bring you a big one. Well, when I had showed him my first statue and my other one, he liked the first one. So while they're gone, I'm going to try to make him one, but hopefully it will come out better, because I've made a couple. So I'm hoping that I can get another one made, and that way I can give that to him. Because I didn't know, I mean, we've been friends with him and his wife for like 6 years, 7 years. And before I found out I had to move out of my house. So I didn't know that he collected like statues. He has like over 300 of them. And he was like, oh my God, I love that one. Well, obviously it's not perfect, so I wasn't even going to give it to him. So I'm going to make him one, and hopefully he likes it. If he likes the other one better, well, then I'll give him the other one. But, all right, so we're just about done. The bubbles are pretty much gone. I do have my heat gun, so I will check the temperature, and we will go from there. So, oh, that's so sweet. I just talked to my girlfriend that moved to Florida, but somehow now she's in Virginia. And they have some like stray cats that are around, and one of the cats just had babies. And she's like, oh my gosh, I so want to like adopt one of them, but you can't get near them. They've been, oh, the babies you probably could when they get old enough. Oh, that's where you are in Virginia? I don't know what part, but she ended up going there. She's taking care of her friend that is not doing well at all. So she's kind of like her in-home nanny or nursemaid or whatever. All right, come on, there we go. All right, we got our resin. So this is our resin. It is pretty clear. There's still a few micro bubbles, but those will definitely come out. So let me, all right, so we're at 82 degrees yeah, Caretaker. That's what I was thinking of, Mary Beth. Thank you. So we're at 82. I am going to pour these back together just so they will heat up faster, because when your resin is deep, it will heat up much quicker. For those of you that maybe are still new to resin, all right. But I am going to get some in my paper cup for the white, and we'll get that mixed, and that way the bubbles will have a chance to kind of degas out of there from mixing up. All right, so I've got my resin in here, which gives me 6 ounces, so we'll make it work. And when you do a bloom and you have this lip right here, what I found is if you go out too far with your white, your blooms are going to look like they're falling into that little channel. So I'm going to try to stay right, like close to the edge, but not really close. And then I'll have to back them anyways tomorrow with a back color. So yeah. Okay, so let's get some white. And I'm just using the Ocean White. Make a late dinner for the fam. Oh. Thank you for stopping in, Amanda. And if you guys have channels, I will, once I can go back and check it out, I will go sub to your channels too. Because I try to... All right, so I'm just gonna... I'm kind of just wiping my stick off. So there's a little bit on there, and I don't want to make it too heavy, but yet I want it opaque enough to, you know, like do the thing it's supposed to do with the color. Because I do not like blobbies at all. Some people do, I don't. Oh man, I forgot my soda upstairs. Crud. We used to have a spare fridge down here, but it crapped out. And now we don't have a spare fridge, so I don't have any means of... I mean, I suppose I could run upstairs, but I hate leaving in the middle of a live to go get a soda. All right, so... let me wipe my stick and see. I can still see the stick a little bit. So I'm just going to add like a smidge more white. Like just like that amount. Just a little bit. And then hopefully that's not too heavy. Now, I know a lot of people struggle with the blooms, but they're not that difficult. It's just you got to get your timing right, is my opinion. Yeah, I think that will be a good color. And then this will warm up. I'm going to put it in the bag and we'll get that ready, and then that will warm up. All right, let me test my temp here. All right, we're at 86. It's going to start going up a little bit quicker here. I'm going to let this degas just a bit before we put it in the bag. just to make sure. I'm just looking on my TV. I think I should have wiped my lens before I went live. It's a little foggy. But and I don't usually put a center in my blooms, but I was thinking, I just don't, if I do it, I don't want to use glitter, and I don't know. Let's see. See, these are a blue and a black, and we're doing cranberry, so I don't think, yeah, maybe we won't do a center. Let's see. Because that's pretty much the only, oh, wait. Maybe. I've got these little copper ones. I have gold, and then I have green. So maybe we could do the gold. Let me see, I'm trying to think which color. Which color should I do for if I did a center? Should it be the gold or the copper? I have more gold, but, oh, this way. Oh, good idea, Terry. Oh, that's what I'll do. Because, you know, sometimes like the centers, they're kind of, you know, like multicolored. All right, I'm just gonna flop these so I don't get stuff in there. All right, so I'm gonna pour, we had more copper, so I'm gonna pour all the copper in a container. And let's mix, we'll do a little bit of the green. And then maybe a smidge of the gold, just to give it a little pop of color. Now I know I have little spoons. Well, not little, but you know, these size. So I will just put like a little bit of a scoop like that in there. And see, at least when I'm live, just got a few different multicolored glass from Timo. Oh, really? I know. I've got a next payday, I gotta order more from Temu. I don't know. I don't know if the color is gonna run off these. We're about to find out, aren't we? All right, I'm gonna put just a little bit of the gold in there, and we will see. Of course, you know, I opened it upside down like a nummy. All right. And then I have my empty container that I can put the rest in. Oh, so I think that will be, let me see if I can, hang on. I'm gonna tip the camera down for a minute. So if you guys get dizzy, shut your eyes for a second. So that way maybe I can kind of, so I think that will be, it'll have just enough of the lightness from the gold, I think, hopefully. So we will see. So I'll pick up this extra that's on my mat. All right, let's check our temperature. We're at 92. And I'm gonna put a little cover over it and see if that helps the heat. All right, so I'm gonna get this into my bag. Let me test see, this one's already at 94. Yeah, and that pop of green I think will go good because green goes with the cranberry and the yellow. And I always mix up too much white, but that's okay. So come on. So I just poured it into my cup. Because I'm like, I didn't want to do another painting because we just did that. So I figured we'd try doing a bloom. I just hate doing resin projects because I can't finish them like on the live. So yeah, but for those of you that maybe are wanting to do a bloom and didn't know how to start, God put every color on a green stem. Yes, green does go with everything, Debbie. All right, so we have got our white waiting for us once our resin gets up to temperature. So I think what I'm going to do is once I pour the clear, then I'm going to drop my alcohol inks, and then we'll drop the... Yes, check the post tomorrow, and I will post a picture. Hopefully I can. I'm still learning YouTube, guys, so you have to bear with me. I am still, like, struggling to figure it all out. We're supposed to have a community page on a mobile, and... Oh, thank you. And for some reason, I cannot find my community page because that's where we can all share pictures, and I can't find it. It doesn't show up. So if anybody knows what I'm doing wrong, let me know. All right, so we're at 99 now. So all I did was I took my extra coaster and I set it over the top so that the heat can't escape, so it's heating up quicker. I didn't really know that was a thing. I just figured I'd try it and see if it sped it up, and it did. Because it was 89 the last I checked, and it's at 99. And we want it to get to 134. Oh, no, that's... Hang on. Yeah, 134 Fahrenheit, I believe. 133. All right. You can't even find them, so you can't help. I'm like, I got the email, and it said that we had a community page. I don't know of a community page on YouTube. Yeah, that we're supposed to have one. Oh, one of the other artists that I follow has been posting, Molly, and she does fluid art. She's been posting in her community page, but I think it was the Blue Elephant or the other one, the Epoxy Me That. One of those two, I think, have been posting in a community page too. Yeah, so I don't know. I can't find mine for the life of me. I keep looking. I'm like, nope, not there. Nope. I'm like, I don't know. You know what? I'm going to change these gloves because these are sticky. I worked on a project a little bit earlier today, and they're a little bit tacky, and I don't... You see a regular post, but no community post. Because I know it was supposed to only be available to, like, if you use the mobile YouTube app, which I do. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess I'll have to eventually ask in the YouTube page. I don't know. All right, and I'm going to use my glove because my thingy is sticky because my other gloves were sticky. All right, we're at 107. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. So the next thing that I want to try is, instead of doing the alcohol, epoxy me that. Okay. Yep, I knew that one of them had a community page. So I might have to message her and say, hey, how did you find it? So I want to do a bloom, but I want to use, instead of like dropping the inks, do like mix up a color and then pipe with that. I don't know. Have any of you done that yet? Because my daughter wants... That's probably what I'll do, Mary Beth. I knew there was one, and I couldn't remember right off the top of my head which one it was. So, yeah. But I want to do a bloom. My daughter wants like a black and white bloom. So I'm assuming she wants like the black bloom, like pipe it in black and then back it in the white. Or vice versa. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to ask her. So this is getting warm. So we'll be good with that. We're at 104. Hang on. I'm going to try to... I know I should get alcohol in my hands because they'll probably split them, but I got to try to wipe this off. Because I don't want to keep the gloves on too long. Yeah, maybe that won't be so sticky. Because, like this one here, oh, that was really split last night. The top of my finger was split, so I had 2 Band-Aids on this finger. I put Neosporin, and I got something sticky on my finger here. So I put Neosporin and wrapped that up, and this one here was split really bad. So I put a Band-Aid over that with Neosporin, and that one at least closed up overnight. And then both my thumbs had splits on them. You know, in course, your thumbs, you don't realize how much you use them, but every time you go pee or whatever, you're pulling your pants up, you're ripping those things open again. All right, let me see here. So we're at 103. Maybe I should have started a little bit earlier, but oh well. That's okay, because we don't usually, when I go live, we don't usually have a chance to chit chat. So this is kind of nice for a change, to be able to just sit and chit chat with you guys. And so once we get closer to the Christmas holiday, I am going to be doing a painting, but after I get done doing the painting, I'm going to poke holes in it. And we're going to, I'm going to put the little fairy lights, I'm going to try to stick them through the canvas and like glue it from the backside. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm going to try. I'll do a small canvas just to make, you know, instead of, you know, ruining a big one if it doesn't work. But I don't see why it wouldn't, because then it would be kind of cute if, like, you did a cabin and you had, like, lights on in the window that you could actually, like, put a little light in that area. I don't know. That would be kind of cool and different from everybody else. Come on, resin, heat up. I thought it was kind of a cool idea. If I can, you have a tapestry like that, so yeah, it must work. I'm thinking, I would probably use like hot glue to get it. Does I suggest using UV to hold the lights down? Oh, I love Thomas Kincaid. Well, what I was thinking is using a little bit of hot glue to glue it down, and then maybe some UV resin over it to like permanently hold it. I don't know if the E6000, because I don't want something that's going to bleed through the canvas either. So that's my fear. But I figured if I did the hot glue, that sets up kind of quick, you know, so I could like get them in place, because I think I'm going to have to glue them as I'm poking them through the hole and then like move to the next one. And I counted, there's 20 lights on one of those fairy light strips. So, the only thing is, let me get it. And it's still the same part. Okay, hang on. All right. Is that better? Am I live? Can you see me? Okay, so I am back. Okay. Your camera is sideways. Okay, is it better now? Yeah, I don't know what happened. Okay. All right, so let's get these going here. So I'm going to try to put them so that you can see them. And I've got something in my resin. All right, so we're going to get these poured and hopefully kind of get them even. Because I know there's still people that are struggling with doing the blooms, and they're not that difficult. As I say that, you watch, these will be a bomb. And I'm not going to scrape my cup because I don't want to get any bubbles in there. All right, so I do see a few bubbles. Let me grab a little pokey stick thingy. All right, we'll use this one. Okay. I got a few little bubbles on the side. I'm going to try to bring them to the top. And then I'm going to go in. I should have sprayed these with alcohol first, and I didn't. And now I'm kicking myself in the behind. but we'll try to get them with a lighter. Try to bring them up to the top. Because I knew once this resin started heating up, I knew it wasn't going to take long at all. So let me get my lighter. And then hopefully any other ones will pop once I drop the alcohol ink in. All right. So I'm going to go with the apricot for the center. I'm going to do 2 drops. Okay. And that is just the apricot by Let's Resin. And then we're going to go in with the cranberry all around. And at least these colors are spreading. And I do want them to be, you know, pretty saturated with the color. That one might have been a bit much. Around the center. All right, so we're going to let that spread for a minute. And this one I think is going to need a little bit more. All right. So let's get our little stones in the center. And that one might be a little too much. Let's see if I can scoop some out. No, I'm not even going to try. All right, we'll go a little lighter on the next one. I'll try to. All right, I just wanted to make sure I had enough for all of them, so I can just, and let's just get those in the resin. Kind of make a circle. And hopefully they stay in the center because they are like rocks. They're not, they're not glitter. I do have a few stray ones here, so I'm trying to wrangle them back into the center. And hopefully they're in the center. I have one rogue one there. You go back in your spot here. All right. So now we're going to start piping. So I'm going to cut a little bit of this off on the back side here, just so it doesn't drag. And I'm just going to cut, I want it to be a fairly decent size, but not, so I'm just trying to show you how much I cut off, which isn't much. And let me test that on yeah, so that's about a good All right, and I'm just gonna, oh, hang on here. I got a few scragglers of stones where I don't want them. I didn't even see them before. Come on. All right, we're just gonna pull them out. So I'm just gonna do the circle method. And I want them to be spaced out, but yet still somewhat close, because I want to get a lot of petals. So the more rings you do, the more petals you will get. I'm going to do one more. And I'm like right to the edge of that circle. And then I'm going to pick it up. And then instantly I'm going to go in where this in the center, even though it's in the center, I don't want that blob there. So I just pulled that out so it's not a heavy blob. All right, so let's get this next one. So this is just basically flowing out. I'm not even squeezing it. It's pretty warm. And then once I get all my spirals in, we will make our petals. All right. Oh, that one's a little close. And that's the beauty with these blooms, is none of them are going to be identical, because depending on how you pipe them, like that space is a lot more than the other one, so that's going to look totally different. And again, I don't want, so if it blobs, just kind of pull it out straight, and then you won't have those blobs. If you stop in the middle and then you start back up, wherever you stop and start, you might get a blob. So you might want to pull that out. Now these ones are much closer spirals. I don't know why, but they are. All right. I'm putting that in the cup. And let me get a narrower dotting tool. All right, this one here. So we got a little spot here. I'm just going to pull it. And then I start at 12 o'clock and I'm going to pull into the center. Not going all the way through to the bottom, but enough to move the resin. And then pick it up, and then I do 6. And then do 3, 9, and then split the difference. And I'm not even going to swirl my center, because I put the stones in. So I'm not even going to worry about that. And I just hope my resin was not too hot and it's not going to bloom. It looks like it's starting to bloom, but I am not 100% thinking that it's going to be okay. You know, because I said it was easy, and now that's going to be my payback. right, I'm going to move those. I'm not going to pull out on them. And then we've got to figure out a color that we are going to back them in. So what would be a good color to back these in? I was thinking maybe a green, because then it would help maybe bring in the green stones, but I'm not sure. They are blooming a little bit, but not as much as I would like at this point. So now I'm nervous. Because this resin is thick. I think I missed my window. I think it was too hot. But we will see. If it doesn't bloom, we'll just have to put a sticker in it or something. Okay, and then that's all there is to that. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. So yeah, just trying to get that sticky. Now you don't want to spray any alcohol in these at all, because it will screw up your bloom. So yeah, now we just leave them. I do have a few rogue little stones going everywhere, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna leave it. And yeah, and then we just gotta figure out a color to back these in. So either way, I will post pictures tomorrow, either on a post or something. And if I remember, I will try to put them in tomorrow night's video as well at the end, because I should be able to get them done. Because what I'll do is I will mix up the 4-hour fast cure for the back color, and then I'll put that, I'll put it on my heat mat so that it will cure up, so that I can hopefully get the pictures. But if not, I'll post them in the post anyways, guys. Alrighty, so I guess that is it for this video, guys. This live. Thank you guys so much for hanging with me and putting up with my, I don't know what was going on with my internet, but for at least coming back. And yeah, oh my gosh, I gotta clean my tools or get new ones, one or the other, because everything is so sticky. So normally I would find something to put my extra white in, but it is so hot that I'm not even going to. I know, me too. They're not blooming as much as I would like them to. Maybe we'll put some heat on them. Maybe that'll thin that resin out. Let's try a little bit of heat. I'll just put it on low. And let's see. I'm just going to kind of go around. I mean, they are blooming, but not as much as I would like. Just see if we can loosen some of this, soften the resin back up so that the colors can move. And I do have a bubble in here, but so that definitely is making a little bit of a difference. I'm hoping I didn't make my white too thick. That could be what it is too, but only time is gonna tell now, guys. And I can already tell this one's going to be the best one if they do bloom. Just by the way the colors stayed. All right, guys, I guess. All righty. And now we wait. Now we wait. I'm going to move these back because if not, I'm going to stick something in it, my arm or something. So let me just check any messages here. Thank you guys so much. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this now, and I will get these finished, and I will get the pictures posted for you tomorrow. Alrighty, guys, bye. Now, let's see if I can. All right.